Almost no one talks about the 20 to 30% of income lost just to looking successful. But the people who quietly build lasting wealth do the opposite. They spend less than they could, automate their money, and say nothing. Every salary, every paycheck has hidden gaps and silent drains that almost everyone ignores. Yet, inside those margins is the real way to get rich without anyone noticing. The question is, why do so few ever see it? Sarah stands in a phone store, staring at the latest upgrade. She could buy it. Her friends would notice, but she pauses, remembering that every visible upgrade comes with hidden costs. Data from 2023 shows that people lose 20 to 30% of their income each year just trying to look successful, buying new cars, designer clothes, dinners that end up on social feeds. The pressure to keep up is constant, and it is expensive. Instead, Sarah walks out with her old phone and a quiet sense of relief. That decision is not just about saving a few $100s, it is about reclaiming a margin that most people never see. When you stop performing wealth, you free up real money. You stop feeding a cycle that drains your future for someone else's approval. Wealth grows fastest when it does not need validation. Sarah's choice is not glamorous, but it is the first step to building something lasting without anyone noticing. Invisible margins are the quiet engine of wealth. Most households that keep their spending under 70% of what they earn see their net worth grow twice as fast as those who push closer to the edge. The difference isn't just in the numbers, it is in the breathing room. Say you bring home $4,000 a month. If you spend $2,800 and leave the rest untouched, that extra $1,200 isn't just sitting idle. It is a buffer that absorbs surprise expenses, and more importantly, it is the fuel for everything that comes next. Margins aren't about deprivation, they are about choice. Even small changes add up. Cutting a daily $4 coffee to once a week frees nearly $1,000 a year. That is a month's rent in many places, or a year's head start on an investment account. The households that quietly build these margins aren't making headlines, but they are stacking the odds in their favor. Every dollar not spent is a dollar that can work for you, quietly compounding in the background, unnoticed by anyone but you. Sarah's margin doesn't just sit in her account, waiting for temptation. It moves automatically the moment her paycheck arrives. She set up a rule. Every payday, a fixed amount transfers straight into savings and investments, no reminders, no decisions. This isn't about willpower. It's about removing choice from the equation entirely. When money flows by default, it doesn't get caught up in daily spending. That's why companies use automatic enrollment for retirement plans. The results are striking. When 401k plans switched from opt-in to automatic enrollment, participation rates jumped from 40% to over 90%. Most people want to save, but life gets in the way. Decision fatigue, forgetfulness, or just a busy week can derail the best intentions. But with automation, the system works in the background. The margin Sarah created is now locked in, quietly building her future. If you have to think about it, you will eventually stop. If it is automatic, you almost never do. Thomas sits at his kitchen table, reviewing his employer's retirement portal. He earns $50,000 a year as a teacher, and the system offers to match 50% of any contribution he makes, up to 5% of his salary. If Thomas puts in $2,500, his employer adds $1,250. That is a 50% return, instantly, before his money even touches the market. No investment, no side hustle, no overtime shift comes close to that kind of guaranteed boost. But most people never claim it. Every year, about 36% of workers in the United States leave this money on the table. On average, it is $1,250 lost, enough to cover a month's rent, a year of groceries, or several emergency repairs. Companies quietly save billions of dollars on unclaimed matches. The reason is not laziness or ignorance, it is friction, a forgotten login, a confusing menu, or the assumption that saving can wait until next year. The result is the same: free money forfeited. Thomas clicks a single button to enroll. The next paycheck, his contribution is deducted automatically, and the match lands alongside it. The numbers in his account start to grow faster. That $1,250 match, compounded over 20 years at a 7% return, turns into nearly $5,000 just from 1 year's action. In the United Kingdom, a similar effect plays out in individual savings accounts and pension tax relief. A £1,000 contribution can come with £200 to £450 in tax benefits, quietly accelerating the balance. These systems are not secret. They are just overlooked. The richest people are not always the highest earners. They are the ones who never leave free money behind. The appeal of fast wins is everywhere. Headlines about overnight millionaires, viral stock tips, and friends boasting about big trades. But the reality hiding behind these stories is far less glamorous. Brokerage data from the last decade shows that nearly 97% of day traders lose money over the long term. Most never recover from their losses. In 2021, thousands rushed into meme stocks like GameStop, chasing the promise of quick gains. Some posted screenshots of six-figure profits. Within 6 months, the vast majority had lost 60 to 90% of their investment. For every viral winner, there are thousands whose stories never get told, accounts drained, savings erased, confidence shaken. The numbers are consistent across markets and years. Whether it is penny stocks, crypto, or options, the pattern repeats. A few loud wins, followed by a silent graveyard of losses. The odds are stacked against anyone trying to outsmart the market for quick profit. Even professionals, with teams, algorithms, and research, struggle to beat the average over time. For everyday investors, the cost of chasing excitement is almost always higher than it seems. Slow money is durable money. The people who quietly build wealth rarely talk about it, because there is nothing flashy to show day to day. Their accounts grow through steady, repeatable actions, boring to watch but powerful over years. The temptation to gamble is strong, especially when others seem to be winning. But the data is clear. The fastest way to lose money is to chase loud wins. The surest way to keep it is to let time and discipline do the work. Priya and Mark started with the same goal: build enough wealth to retire comfortably. Priya began at age 25, setting aside $200 each month. Mark waited until age 35, but doubled his contribution to $400. For the first decade, their progress felt slow: monthly transfers, small balances, barely any difference between what they put in and what the account showed. This is where most people give up. In fact, 65% stop before year 12, missing the point where growth finally overtakes effort. But Priya kept going. By year 12, her investment returns started outpacing her deposits. The curve bent upward. Mark, starting later, saw the same effect, just shifted. The numbers reveal an inflection point. After a dozen years, compounding does more of the work than you do. The math becomes inevitable. Those who stay the course cross a quiet threshold, while most never see it. 1 in 4 people who try to build wealth quietly are thrown off course by social pressure. Comments from friends, family, and colleagues notice when you do not upgrade, do not splurge, or do not play along. Priya and Mark felt it at every turn. Invitations to expensive dinners, questions about their old car, hints that they could afford more. The pressure is not always obvious, but it is persistent. When someone asks about your choices, a simple script works. We are focusing on long-term goals right now. That one line deflects curiosity without inviting debate. Most quietly wealthy people use variations of it, keeping details private and the system intact. Protecting your progress means ignoring trends, resisting comparisons, and letting others wonder. If no one notices your progress, you are probably doing it right. Right now, most wealth still moves in silence, quiet habits, quiet accounts, quiet results. With over 30% of employees leaving free money unclaimed, the real edge is restraint. In a world that rewards noise, quiet systems build futures. Sometimes, the smartest move is the one no one notices. Thanks for watching.